Cavaliers still have a chance to get a steal in the NBA buyout market. There are changes to be made to this roster if they want, and a name that has popped up for them is Mo Bamba as another big man to add to this lineup. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest. Excited to talk about everything that's happening with the Cleveland Cavaliers. As again, they win again against the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. You would think it's just cut and dry, but they add DeAndre Hunter. He looks great in his first game. That was exciting to see. The Cavaliers are winning, and they are still in the buyout market despite losing out on Ben Simmons. There are still options for them to add to this team, so we're excited to get into that. Good time to subscribe. Good time to drop down and comment. I think with the trade deadline, you kind of saw when you subscribe to this channel, we're keeping you up to date. We're talking about all the options. Everybody's in the comments talking about what they think, what they want to see. I loved the DeAndre Hunter situation because everybody really jumped to it. Everybody got really excited about it. I thought that was really, really awesome. So I would love to see that continue for this channel when we talk about different things. People to either get excited or debate or kind of talk amongst themselves in different things. So I think that's really, really good. And we'd love to see that continue for everybody on this channel. So before we get to another possible steal for the Cavaliers in the NBA buyout market, the Cavs do win 128-107 over the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday. This was really exciting. DeAndre Hunter, he jumped into action, got his first chance to play with the Cleveland Cavaliers. 12 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 from the field. Just think that was good for him, right? Get out there, get comfortable. He got better in the second half. Had that opportunity to guard Anthony Edwards. That's kind of what you hope going forward, right? Is he'll pick up that, either that or Jaden McDaniels. And Ant went off. He had a good game. So, still getting acclimated, still figuring things out. It'll take time. But for the Cavaliers to win, for things to go their way, again, that's a big deal. And that's what you want to see from them kind of going forward and rolling forward with this team and with this squad. So excited to see DeAndre Hunter step in and work well with the Cavaliers. I think all the hype has been real. All the grades back and all the thoughts from different media members and different people, it's positive for the Cavaliers. So I love to see that. I know Cavs fans are excited about that. Again, win, all that for the DeAndre Hunter trade. Now, last time we checked in, the Cavaliers were an option to get Ben Simmons in the buyout market. He was visiting the Cavs. He was visiting the Clippers. We had a debate here talking about, yes, he's a great defender. He's an elite defender. He can pick up bigs, wings, point guards. He can run as a point guard. I mean, we really gave him his due. Really got excited about Ben Simmons. I know I had sold myself on him and then unsold myself on him because he's not a vibes guy. He's complete opposite. I know a lot of people jumped in and talked about that. He just doesn't really bring a good vibe. He hasn't been in a good situation in a long time. He's down on himself, clearly. He's had a lot of issues with that going for sure. So, it is one of those things where it was really back and forth about if the Cavaliers wanted him, if the Cavaliers needed him, right? It was up in the air. And then he doesn't choose the Cavaliers. He ends up going with the Los Angeles Clippers. So that kind of lands where it lands, right? That kind of is what it is. So I did want to get people's thoughts about if they feel like that was a loss. Do you feel like the Cavaliers missed out on Ben Simmons? Is that a big loss for them? Do you feel like they missed out on a possible steal, on a big addition to the roster, on a big defender, on more depth? I know I kind of looked at the Cavs last night playing the Timberwolves, and man, they looked a little light roster-wise. They're giving Luke Travers minutes. They're giving Tristan Thompson minutes. And I understand Dean Wade's out, and I understand some other guys are out like Isaac Okoro and things like that, but I think that was just an example where if you're down some guys, it'd be pretty nice to have Ben Simmons as a guy that steps up and plays minutes. But Cavaliers lose out on Ben Simmons. Get your thoughts on that. Drop down in the comments. What do you think on that? Do you feel like that's a loss not to get Ben Simmons? I don't know. I think I landed on I'm okay with it. His vibes weren't there. I don't think they were ever going to be there. So I'm okay without Ben Simmons. I think I'll be all right there. Now, the Cavaliers can still make a splash in the buyout market, and I think they need to. I've been saying this for 2 years, 3 years. They need another big. You cannot pressure Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley to soak up these minutes. They physically cannot do it. They should not be on the floor together all the time, and the pressure should not be on one of them if the other is either out for the game or out for those minutes, and then fronting it to guys who play downsized, whatever. You have to have size, athleticism, and difference makers at the big position off the bench. You can't just go 2, 1, both 1-1 with Allen and Mobley. Those guys look beat down, they look exhausted, and we got a long way to go in the season, and no, Tristan Thompson does not provide you what you need. This comes to mind, and the name that has popped up is Mo Bamba. This name for me is key because you have length, you have size, you have experience, and you have a little bit of shooting and still like some youthful energy, right? At 26 years old, 7 foot, he was on the Jazz, a part of a trade, he was on the Clippers, a part of a trade to the Jazz, and then he was waived. So the Athletic listed Mo Bamba as one of the top buyout candidates here. Frustrating player, I think that's clear. He really has just not quite lived up to the hype of being a top 10 pick, obviously. Moved to different teams. I think Philly thought he would be a great backup big, and he didn't quite fill that role. For them, he couldn't play consistently, but he can hit threes, he can block shots, and he can be more productive than any other front court options they had on the list. You know, that includes a Kelly Olynyk. I think the only other big above him was Larry Nance Jr. So for Koby Altman to consider a Mo Bamba to try and get him and bring him in, an athletic freak that actually offers you something. Tristan Thompson, you're just hoping can give you a little bit of physicality. This is a guy, a shot blocker, can knock down shots, has played in big games, has played, and I don't want to act like he's played in the finals or anything, but Mo Bamba has played enough good basketball and enough basketball that if the Cavaliers threw him out there in a playoff game, I don't think he'd be completely lost, right? And I think Kenny Atkinson could map out and scheme out a way to make the most of him. So I'm excited for this opportunity. I think the Cavaliers need to do it, right? I've said it for a long time. They need another backup big. The question is, as a Cavs fan, do you want to get past the buyout market, adding a player, adjusting the roster? Because I understand that too. So you can drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. If it's time to move on and move forward with this team, I definitely vibe with that. I definitely buy that. So I definitely think that's an option. So go ahead and let me know about that. But if you like the intriguing possibility of more depth and a big man and taking a chance on Mo Bamba, we need to discuss it. As Cavs fans, again, we can get excited about it. I really loved the excitement we had and the talks we had about Ben Simmons. I think we could do the same about Mo Bamba. But these things are happening fast right now. So it's a great idea to subscribe to Cavs Digest. We're going to keep you up to date on everything happening. So be sure to subscribe and let us know what you think.